Welcome, YouTubers. What's on the bench today? It's the Lisle Stethoscope. This is the one with the magnet. We'll talk about that magnet in a moment. But I wanted to talk about this stethoscope because, I've had a couple of them. I've had one where the hose got brittle and I ended up throwing it away. Those cheap $7 or $8 ones that you can get. They just don't last very long. They just don't sound as good either. They're not as quality at all. These have nice rubber ends for your ears. It has really high quality hose here. It's hard to explain on camera, of course, but it's a very high quality hose and it's very versatile. So what do you use these for? Everybody needs one. If you work on your car, you're trying to diagnose a ticking noise or a grinding noise or a bumping noise, a thumping noise, those kind of things, an air leak, in your vacuum system. If you're looking for, where you can hear a leak, but you can't quite tell where it's coming from. This thing is so handy. So I just love it. This Lisle is the 52520 model. They make a few others, and this is an upgrade from the 52. I think it was the 52500 that just didn't have the magnet. That's just the older version of this, and they decided to add the magnet. They have another version of it. I can put all three in the links below. One version, they still sell it without the magnet, and it's like a couple dollars cheaper. Another version, you can actually get a different attachment for the vacuum. You can still use this for the vacuum, for vacuum checks. But the other one has a special attachment for it, but it doesn't come with the magnet, and I really like the magnet, so I chose this one. This is the most expensive one. However, all three of them only vary by a couple of bucks or so each, so they're very close in price. They are listed a little more expensive if you buy it directly from Lisle. They're at 50 bucks, but on Amazon it's like 25-ish, I think, is the last time I looked. Again, I'll have the prices on the video that I eventually post. Even O'Reilly sells it, but it's $41. It was either O'Reilly or AutoZone. I think it was O'Reilly that had this for $41. It's cheapest to buy it off Amazon. So actually, I wanted to take this off. Let's just unscrew this. And when you first get this in the package, all you got to do is put the hose on the ends of the ears and put the rod down in here and screw it on. The reason I took it off right now is just to show you that you can use this cup for certain things if it's more convenient to kind of hold that up against something. Even for vacuum leaks, it's fine. For a vacuum leak, what I've been doing is just taking it off and just using it just like this, with this in the ears, of course. I will kind of follow along a vacuum hose to listen for consistency. You'll hear it. You'll hear it in there. If you put this tip on a fuel injector, you will hear the gas being sprayed right into that fuel injector. You can tell the difference of, hey, this one's spitting, that one's kind of spitting fuel, and this one's more consistent, like a nice even flow. There's so much you can tell with these things. I just really love this for vacuum, for finding vacuum leaks. If you're going along and looking for a leak, you'll hear where the problem area is. It'll get louder, or you'll go along and all of a sudden over on this end, you won't hear anything at all, and here you're hearing something, and hey, somewhere in between here, and you look down in there, and oh yeah, there's a hose disconnected or something like that. You can just check for consistency on your vacuum. I'll go over to the vehicle to point out a couple of things on here. Let me go ahead and put this back on. Put that back on there. I'm going to put the magnet on there. And by the way, on this magnet, I noticed on the reviews, this has a very high review. I did notice one person give it 4 stars instead of 5, saying, hey, that magnet should stay on better. It doesn't stay on good enough. And here, let me show you what he's probably talking about. You have that on your motor checking for noises somewhere. And if you pull this straight back, you can get this. I'm trying. Well, that time it didn't. You can get this. Well, to me, it doesn't come out real easy, but I just wanted to talk about it since somebody did give it a negative review. Yeah, I can see where it could come out. You know, it doesn't screw on. But if you get the feel for it, it kind of becomes irrelevant because if you got that stuck onto something, all you've got to do before taking it off is just, you know, get the main surface away from it and it'll come right off. This way or that way. See if you can tell on camera, but when I do this, it's coming off real easy and there's no chance of this coming off when you do it that way. But yeah, if you keep the strong part of the magnet on the metal and then try to pull it off, let me see if I can get it to do it. Uh, I can't get it to do it. To me, it comes off. But I can see what he means. Like, let's just say, yeah, I can see what he means that there's a chance that it could come out. And so when I hang this up, when I'm done using it and I hang it up, one thing I like about this magnet is I can just stick it right there to keep it safekeeping there for next time. This isn't metal, but this is. So, so yeah, very handy. Let's go over to the vehicle here and show you. I'm not going to start up the vehicle because my vehicle is really loud. But just as an example, a couple of examples, and I'm going to show you one. It was on this side over here. I was listening to a ticking noise in this ram. I don't know if you're familiar with rams, but they've got the Hemi tick. Sometimes you got lifter issues, and so you start getting worried that, uh-oh, is that a lifter I'm hearing? So with it running, I took my probe and I touched it all over the motor to kind of see if the ticking was coming from a lifter. And you know what I did with it running? Well, I've got the cover on now, so it's hard to see, but I was touching this right to the fuel injectors, and sure enough, I'm hearing that ticking very loud in my ear. The same ticking that I'm hearing, where it's really hard to tell where it's coming from if you don't have this stethoscope. And it's so easy to tell where the ticking's coming from when you can kind of isolate it and just test certain spots. If you're hearing a whining noise, it's like, is that coming from my alternator? You just touch it to the alternator and you'll hear, no, that sounds pretty smooth. Obviously be careful that you don't stick this in a fan or anything like that. And there's certain pulleys that, you know, you can't go right on the pulley because it's spinning. But what you can do, you can go on the base somewhere, like of this tensioner right here. Yeah, the pulley is spinning down here, but you can safely, I say safely, do it at your own risk. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I'll do it on my vehicle. I will go right over here by the pulley on a stationary point and just touch that to that and see if I'm hearing a really loud uh, whining, squealing, squeaking, whatever you're hearing that's bothering you. And you can tell when pulleys are going out quicker. You can even do it with this pulley right here. Even though this pulley's spinning, you don't want to put it right on this side because it's spinning. You can put your rod on the other side, and if that's what's making the noise, it's going to get really loud, and you're going to say, oh yeah, that's where my noise is coming from. You can check your water pump. Alternator is a big one for bearings going out in it and starting to get noisy. But yeah, just all kinds of, you can isolate all kinds of noises with this. Wheel bearing, and that's where a magnet might really come in handy. Well, a magnet might come in handy all over the place so that you can listen to something and then still have your hands free to do other things, whether it's spinning a tire, maybe you got it jacked up and you're spinning your tire trying to see if your wheel bearing is making noise, that type of thing. But so that's the reason why I got the magnet. I really like the flexibility of uh, being able to have your hands free while you're listening to something. A lot of times you don't need your hands free, but in case you do, the magnet is real handy. That is what is very handy about this Lisle stethoscope. The Lisle stethoscope with magnet, available for you to have in your garage, in your shop, to isolate noises, to figure out where those squeaks, noises, rattles are coming from. What is about to go out on your vehicle and leave you stranded? Is it the alternator starting to make a lot of noise, the water pump, that type of thing? Do you want peace of mind saying, hey, is that a lifter or is that just really loud fuel injectors? In my case, it's just really loud fuel injectors. It gave me peace of mind. I love having this thing. I love using it. It's good for all kinds of other uses. occasional uses. You can put this thing up to a wall and hear water running in a wall. If you're trying to isolate a problem with a water leak in your house somewhere, maybe in your basement that's finished or something like that, and maybe you're trying to get to a water pipe that's on the other side of drywall, and you turn your water on and you got your water running in there, you take this thing and run it across your wall. In that case, I might just use this cup or even this hose with nothing on it. Try different things, try just the tip and run it across your wall, and you will hear that water running. It's like, oh, like let's say the ceiling is right here. Let's say the ceiling is right here in your basement, and here's the floor and here's the ceiling, and you're thinking, you know what, I've got to find that water line because I got to tap into it in order to I don't know, make a faucet in my laundry room in the basement or whatever. Or maybe you got a water leak and you have to tap into it to find your water pipe, and you don't want to cut too much drywall. You just want to cut right where you need to get, and you need to isolate and find where the water is running. Well, turn the water on and walk along your basement and touch this to the ceiling, and it'll get really loud when the water when it finds the water. You'll actually hear the water running, and you go past it. It's like, oh, it's not quite as loud here. Oh, it's getting louder here. Oh, that's where my water pipe is, right there. That's where I'm going to cut into the drywall. So there's a lot of uses for things like this. I don't know if you can hear your heartbeat or not with these. I haven't tried it, but you could check to see if you're alive. Yeah, that's good. It's a good thing to do with it as well. So anyway, I like to do tool reviews on tools that I just love, that I use regularly, especially tools where, hey, I've had a bad one that I threw away because of the cheap hose. It just doesn't work very good, doesn't last very long. I can tell already that this baby is going to be in my garage for a long time. Yeah, it's probably twice as much as a lot of those China cheapies, but you can tell Lisle makes some good stuff. And as a matter of fact, some things from Lisle are actually uh, put together in China, believe it or not, and some of them are made in America. I did not check to see where the stethoscope is made. I brought a little sheet right here that shows the price of it at one of the stores. This one was, I believe, O'Reilly. I can't remember for sure. And it doesn't say, it just says check other stores. Yeah, $41.99 at O'Reilly or AutoZone. However, it doesn't say where it was made. I didn't bring any other info for this video, unfortunately. So I will put a note when I do the video to show you where this is made. Lisle stethoscope with magnet, the 52520 model. Very good. Very happy with it. I've used it. I'm about to use this on my son's Ram. He's got some noise coming when his passenger front wheel is spinning, and I'm pretty sure it's the wheel bearing, but I want to isolate that before buying a wheel bearing and putting it on and then finding out it's something else. Put this baby right on the other side of that wheel bearing and see how loud that noise is, and you can confirm a lot of things with these prior to wasting money on parts you don't need. So a must-have, I think, a must-have for everybody. I appreciate you watching my little review of it. If this is something that you feel that you would like to have in your shop, I'd sure appreciate if you'd click on the link on my affiliate store and purchase it through that link. It won't cost you any extra, and it'll support my channel that I'm trying to grow, and I just really appreciate it. And also, please subscribe for other tool reviews, and give me any comments or suggestions of tools that you would like me to review. I love doing this. That is, if I have input, I might have to tell you I don't have that tool, and maybe I'll probably go buy it if you give me a suggestion and I don't have a tool. I love tools. I've got them all over, and I love working on cars. So I do have a lot of things. I'm not a professional mechanic. I'm a DIYer who likes to fix my cars, my family's cars, my neighbor's cars, whatever I can help with. I have a lot of fun doing it. It's a hobby of mine. It's not a profession of mine. But I don't think you'll be unhappy if you buy this Lisle stethoscope. I think it'll be a quality unit for you that you will be glad you purchased. So anyway, thanks for watching Jimpressions, And as I always like to say, have a good day.